Compliment. So we have a Jamie Cooper there. I can see her, and she actually we're moving her up a little bit because she has another commitment she has to do later at around 1:45, 2 o'clock. So, and we're going to try a different little format where not typically Jamie comes in, talks about what's going on in the cannabis community, the Sensi community. She's still able to do that if she wants, but she's also going to be interviewing Patrick from RAIR and talking about what's going on with that company. So I'll turn the mic over to you, Jamie. Take it away.
Thanks so much, Mike, and great headlines there, Rick. Holy moly. Patrick, welcome to our show today. It's great to have you with us. So Patrick Frakes with RAIR, really quick, tell a little bit about yourself and about RAIR.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jamie, Rick, and Mike. Before I talk about myself, I do want to just start by saying, our business would not exist in Michigan, and I would not have a job in Michigan if it wasn't for the caregivers, if it wasn't for the patients, and it wasn't for advocates like you three to help create this industry and advance legislation to get rid of the crazy, stupid drug laws that existed. So I really appreciate you guys so much. I want you to know how much it means to me what you guys went through. And the first thing I did when I came to Michigan was I met about 25 caregivers, and I just hung out with them for about the first 6 months I was here. And I was amazed by their dedication, their talent, and their giving. Everybody had a story about helping patients and giving free medicine, and that's what it's all about. So I just wanted to congratulate you guys and thank you guys for all your hard work. Now a little bit about RAIR. So RAIR is a vertically integrated company. We've just opened our first store at 3772 Wilder Road in Bay City. We're definitely called RAIR because we're different than everybody else. We are actually the only aeroponic grower in the state. So that means no soil ever touches our plants. We grow in the air and we mist the water and nutrients on the plants all day, every day, and that gives us the ability to reduce potential contaminants and to have higher quality cannabis. So we're really excited about that. And we hired a great grow team out of Denver, Ashley Hubbard. She's an amazing cultivator, one of the first women cultivators in the legal cannabis market. She was actually part of the second licensee in Colorado. So she's been in the industry for a long time and she's an absolute rock star. And we also are producing some incredible high quality vape carts with our chemical engineer, Marley Hodson. She's another woman running our processing and extraction services. And she is truly a genius, and her talent, I've smoked a lot of vape carts and I've been so excited that our vape carts are the only ones that I've ever really had that don't make me cough. So I'm really proud of our smooth carts and are really great, flavorful, and at a time when vape carts are really in short supply in Michigan. So, and our director of retail is also a woman, Molly McFadden. She was running Sutera Wellness in Miami, a medical operation. She actually came from the retail space from Macy's Corporation, and she's also a rock star. And so her empathy, her commitment to the patients, and making sure we have a store that is welcoming to everybody, whether you're a regular cannabis consumer or somebody really curious. We want to make sure we've got answers for you and we've got products that are high quality. And one of the biggest reasons why we wanted to be a vertical operator was because of stories like Rick and telling the recall. Quality matters to us, and every patient, every consumer deserves to have that confidence to know that they don't have to worry about vitamin E acetate in their vape carts, or they don't have to worry about powdery mildew, or whether this thing had a fake test result and was actually not healthy for them. So everything in our store is produced by us. So that's the story of RAIR.
And I love it. Like the moment that I met you and your team, I was just like, man, this is a really great group, and had the opportunity to hang out with you in Vegas back for MJ BizCon in December, and I remember seeing your group's picture in I think it was MLive, or it was like Bay City, talking about your store opening, and it was the picture of you guys at the top of our stratosphere party. And so right. Love watching you guys go through your journey in this over the last couple of years. So tell us a little bit about that journey. How has that journey been through licensing in Michigan?
Well, it was arduous. It was quite a task. I mean, at some point it felt like it was torture because we did go through licensing when the board was in place under the old MMFLA rules. I see Rick's face. You know, and my partner, Kevin McFadden, is an amazing guy. He's one of the greatest men I've ever met because he does everything the right way. He's got a very clean business background in real estate development. But some reason the board took 11 months to approve us. And they checked my wife's a school teacher. They checked her retirement accounts from 1 year teaching at Fairfax County schools, and they checked under the mattresses of our homes. They just did everything. It was unbelievable how much detail they went into, and it delayed our operation from getting going and providing inventory to the state that needs it dramatically. So it was tough, and we never thought it would take this long, but we also were adamant about making sure we were doing this the right way for the people of Michigan. It wasn't our desire to be the first company. We're not trying to be the biggest company. We're just trying to be a company that people can count on and have the best products we can create and make sure that there's quality that people can count on.
So you're joining us live from your Bay City store right now.
I am. So I'm in one of our consultation rooms, and you can see a little bit of the store design there. We're really proud of our store design. It's a very high-end space, but again, we've tried to make it feel a little bit like home. So it's got a little home touches. You guys may know High Road Studio. They're out of Arizona. Megan is really kind of a rock star in the interior design cannabis space, and we worked with her team, and it was really a great experience for us. We couldn't be prouder of the work that she helped us with.
So RAIR, RAIR, that's your name. So tell us a little bit about coming up with that name. It's very rare.
It is. Well, that's part of it. So again, we're trying to be different. You know, we're not about just making a buck, and we're not trying to just turn our business over and sell it to some multi-state operator. You know, I'm a cannabis consumer for most of my adult life, and even a little bit before I was an adult, if I'm being honest. But you know, my father was an alcoholic. My brother was an alcoholic, and I had a voice in my head my whole life that said, "You've got an addictive personality. You need to find something to be addicted to that's not going to kill you." And thankfully, cannabis worked for me, and you know, it reduced stress and anxiety throughout all of my adult life. And when the legalization movement started happening, I went to Kevin McFadden. I said, "We need to do this," because Kevin, he's a great guy. He adopted a kid from Ghana. He is a caring person. We all have a lot of military personnel that are in our life that have had PTSD and used cannabis for it. I lost both of my parents to cancer, and my dad would not use cannabis at the end of his life, but my mom did. And it had a real impact on me, had a real impact on our family about her ability to just be with us until her final days, you know, and to be alert and able to take some food down. So we've had a lot of things in our life that have impacted us to show why cannabis is the real hero here and the real medicine and the plant that we need to get back into mainstream America.
So where will we be seeing RAIR stores and RAIR products over the next year?
So our aeroponic grow facility, which is, you know, really state of the art, is in Jackson. So we're right in the middle of the state, so we can distribute all over the state as much as possible. But we have secured 6 locations. So we're going to be opening our second store in Muskegon, and then after that it'll be Lowell, Michigan, Kalamazoo, Big Rapids, and Reed City. So a lot more on the western part of the state where there aren't so many retail operations.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah, there you go. Also, you know, we really want to be in the southeastern market as well. But, you know, it's, as you guys know better than anybody, it's been challenging to get access there without selling your soul to the devil or lying. And we applied in Warren, Michigan, and realized quite quickly if we weren't lying, we weren't getting approved. So, you know, we woke up to the realities of some of these communities in the southeastern region and how adversarial it is to get in there.
So you had a little run-in with the law when you were a bit younger for drug laws. So tell us a little bit about that and what you plan to do to support racial and gender equality too within RAIR.
Yeah, well, you know, when I was 18 years old, I was one of those kids that attended Grateful Dead shows. I had been to about 15 shows over the prior 3 years of my life. And 2 months after my 18th birthday, I went to a show in Richmond, Virginia, where they put 25 undercover police officers at the show. I had a guy with long hair and a steal your face shirt on telling me how sad he was that he didn't have anything to party with at this show. And it was ridiculous. He had a cheat sheet of talking about the different shows he had been to and everything. And he totally got me. I was a naive kid. And, I was tailgating in a circle with my friends behind our car, just ready to go into a concert. And I agreed to give this guy something. And before I knew it, I had handcuffs on me. And then one of the other things that's always bothered me the most is that right after that, I had a prosecuting attorney tell me, don't ruin your life. You're a good kid. Plead guilty to this felony and we'll make sure you don't go to jail. And of course, my dad said, you signed that document. And, I've coached high school sports for the last 12 years, right before getting into the cannabis business. And about 95% of the kids I coached were African American. And one thing that I've always been very clear on is if I had been an African American kid, I was going to be going to jail. And, I would not have had these chances to have this success in my life. So while I was a victim of bad laws and war on drugs, I was also the beneficiary of white privilege at the same time. And, I've watched a lot of kids that I love, like my own children, get arrested for sitting on their porch doing nothing. And cops will just patrol their neighborhoods and wander around and literally ruining kids' lives that were doing great things. And, that has always had a big impact on me too. So giving back to the communities where we operate is something that is not just important to us, it's imperative for our operations. I'm proud of the expungement efforts that have already been going on thanks to people like yourselves. And I can't wait to participate in it. And not only just the expungement, but I want to give these guys jobs that are not just hourly jobs. I want to give them jobs that they can grow into becoming leaders. One of the things our company is about is not just having hourly employees. We want to teach them how to grow, and maybe they have to grow out of our business because they're doing so well, and then they go get a great job at a much higher salary, because we need to promote leaders in this industry. The women, African Americans, people from all backgrounds need a shot. A lot of times, like myself, back in the day, I would lie on applications and they'd say, are you a convicted felon? I just checked the no box and hope they didn't check. And I'm really appreciating Michigan allowing me to have a place in the cannabis industry, even though I had that checkered past. If it wasn't 30 years ago, I'm sure it would have been a bigger issue, but thankfully I've been able to accomplish things in my life and they gave me a shot to be in this industry.
Well, and thank you for recognizing that, if your skin was a different color, that you would have been treated completely differently. So, and using that, to help make a difference in your business. So appreciate that. So really quick, tell us a little bit about some of these products that RAIR is producing and we will be seeing in some of the stores.
Right. So we do make everything ourselves. And, as I said, I'm so proud of Ashley Hubbard, our director of cultivation. I didn't even realize how challenging commercial growing was until I was in the middle of it myself. She's experienced at it, but our flower products are really through the roof. I mean, I am so excited about what's on our shelves. The terpenes are rich, the flavor is rich. Our test results are coming back with undetectables on all those things like microbials, heavy metals, and the like. So, we have a very clean grow operation. And people are going to know right away when they taste our flower. Things like sour banana sherbet, the platinum garlic, peanut butter breath is one of my favorites. But we have a really great variety. I think we have 11 strains in now, and we'll be going to 16. There's going to be some new ones coming on board. We got some great genetics from Amsterdam and Spain that we're bringing online that we're really excited about. And again, our vape carts and our concentrates, we have a rosin that is really really incredible. And our vape carts, again, are just super. And we're going to be introducing live resin carts coming up pretty soon. And things called nano gummies. I don't know how much you guys know about nano emulsion technology, but nano emulsion is going to be a big factor in cannabis in the future through beverages and through edibles. And we're really excited about that. Quicker onset time, more bioavailability. So a 5 milligram nano gummy can work just as well as a 10 milligram regular gummy. So I think that's going to be something that's really exciting.
Will you be expanding your cultivation and processing facility, you know, as you open these new stores?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we have 34,000 square feet. So we do have a big facility and we have the ability to expand in that. But we're definitely going to be setting up a second building. We have 17 acres in Jackson, and we are really excited about getting started on our second facility now, and really super excited about the processing and extraction side. Marley has a bunch of new products she's anxious to bring on board, and she's working on things like creams and salve and like the live resin again, and some additional concentrates, some diamonds and sugars. She's got all kinds of stuff in the works right now. So we also hopefully pretty soon we'll have a powderized packet that people can put. That'll be a nano packet that people can put in any beverage of their choice. So super, super exciting. Not everything has to be smoked, and not everything has to feel like an edible. You know, these nano packets really get a little bit closer towards that high, that head high that you feel, quicker onset. So we're really super excited about that.
And you certainly feel much better than like drinking booze.
Absolutely. Yeah. Long term is to have a beverage. We'd like to have a THC beverage, but that's the long term goal.
Right.
I'd
So,
like to ask, may I ask a quick question?
yeah.
I don't grow, I occasionally consume. So I'm trying to understand, how do you grow this in the air? Can you explain that?
Aeroponics, man.
Yeah, I've never seen
Aeroponics.
that. So why don't
No
you explain it
soil
to me?
underneath. Yes, it's beautiful. They just spray
Hmm.
liquid on the roots the whole time.
Okay.
Oh, it's awesome, Patrick.
Yeah, so basically the plant sits in a collar. It would be like a cup that has openings underneath of it so the roots can grow out of the base of the collar. And you have, on each table, we have 271 misters that are spraying on the roots from every direction. So this is actually a technology that started for growing vegetables on the space station.
Well,
So in a limited environment, you know, one of the other things that was really important to us, our grow facility, we're using Fluence bioengineering LED lights, so we're reducing our energy footprint. And we also spent a lot of money, I think more money than most people spend on their entire grow, to reclaim water. So we have a water reclamation system. So actually everything cycles through reverse osmosis twice, arc skid filter twice. So every time the water is missing on those plants, it's really what you call, the plants would call it its perfect scenario of water, the temperature, the amount of nutrients, and the plant gets to decide when it wants to ingest those nutrients in water, and the rest of it just runs off.
okay.
Yeah, so
It's,
really, I'd love to have you guys out. I would love to have you guys come see the facility. We could do a whole dog and pony show, but it's fantastic to see. It's really exciting. And the plants, it really is. It's like the plants live in San Diego all the time. So it's a great growing environment for them.
okay. Whoop, he popped out again. We had Judge Strange there, but we seem to have lost him. Come back in if you can hear me.
Well, I can tell you, I've visited an aeroponic facility before, and the root beards that develop, the whole big, root mass is just really incredible. And of course, water reclamation extremely important in a growing situation where you're not using a substrate like hydroton growing rocks or soil or a soilless mixture. It's all based on the liquid that you're spraying on there. So reclaiming and recycling that would be important, but that also has an ecological positive effect too. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, so we use about 20,000 gallons of water on our day. We actually generate about 5,000 gallons of water through our condensate with our HVAC systems. So all of that, we're only off-putting about 200 gallons a day. So we're really well over 90% of reclaiming that water. Obviously, it reduces the amount of water we take from the city, which is great for the environment, but also it allows us to constantly protect that water and make sure it's ideal for our growing needs.
Hmm. Interesting.
And you can monitor, of course, to make sure there's no microbial growth or anything else like that too. It's all controlled.
Exactly. So that's the thing. I mean, it was a huge number, but we have an arc skid filter. We worked with Cerna and a consultant out of Washington State. Cerna's out of Colorado, but we worked with some really great engineers to design this system, and it's really fascinating. It's really cool to see as well.
Great. And you
Okay.
said first one that you know of in Michigan, right?
Right. We've been doing our research. There's not a lot of aeroponic growers in the country because really you have to spend a lot more money up front. So our capital output was a lot more significant than a traditional grow. But you know, like I said, back to the hiring people, we have in our grow facility, we have 24 employees now, and we've already produced about 6 harvests, getting close to about 1,000 pounds of cannabis produced, and we are never going to have more than 30 to 35 people in that building. So our employees are going to be not just laborers, they're all going to be leaders at leading technologies that'll help carry them into the future.
What made you select Bay City as
Amazing.
a place? Oh, I'm sorry, please, Jamie, go ahead. It's your interview.
That's okay. Well, that's okay. I was curious, you know, like when you guys decided to come to Michigan and build the facility in Michigan, why did you choose aeroponics over, you know, traditional soil?
Well, it actually started from a friend of mine who was a minor league baseball player and couldn't make the big leagues. And so he got into the cannabis space, and I said, "Where are you working?" And he says, "I work for these mechanical engineers. They designed a custom aeroponic facility in Washington State." And so then I found another guy who was a mechanical engineer that actually worked for SpaceX, and was designing their aeroponic pods for SpaceX. And I just fell in love with aeroponics, and it made sense. I mean, my job is to make sure not only we're a good company, but also that we can survive when the margins get tight, as Colorado and these other states. The prices are going to come down, wholesale pricing is going to come down, and aeroponic technology does allow you to have a lower operational expense. When you have nobody moving dirt in and out of a building and all of that labor that's associated with that, it's a great, our workforce is probably reduced about 60% lower than a traditional grow.
When all the
Yes.
water that you're using is getting right on the root mass and none of it's being absorbed up by cocoa or by something else that's not utilizing those nutrients, you're really preserving the integrity of the process then.
Right. And back to your question, Rick, if you don't mind, at Bay City, we were certainly looking for communities that were going to approve based on certification and not make you go through some crazy scoring system. But my partner, Kevin McFadden, again, he was a real estate developer for CVS drugstores. And CVS always had this motto of going head to head with the competition of Walgreens, and they would put their stores right across the street. We liked the fact that Bay City was a known destination for shoppers to go get their cannabis. And so we wanted to be on Wilder Road, 3772 Wilder Road.